Hello, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and doing well. I'm your science educator, and from today onwards, I will be taking your science classes. Today, we have chapter number 1, which is characteristics of living things. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn about the characteristics of living things. So, what are the learning objectives we have? The first, features of living things. Next, we are going to learn about their growth, their movements, their nutrition, their respiration, and how they respond to stimuli as well. And the last but not the least, the reproduction. We are going to learn reproduction of living things at the last. So, living things means living organisms are very special. They are quite distinct and different from living things because they have life. What we understand by living things, the things which have life, that's it. But the next question raised here, ma'am, what does mean by life? What is life? So let's discuss it. It is not easy to define life. We cannot define life easily because my life is different from your life and your life is different from somebody else's life. Okay, so life cannot be described easily, but what we can understand here, living things can carry on certain activities or processes which are inborn in them. So they have doing these activities which they get when they birth, and they have continue these processes throughout their life. So both the plants, animals carry on these activities. So now the question is, ma'am, what are the activities? The activities are growth, movement, nutrition, respiration, and response to stimuli and their reproduction. So these are the activities the human beings have, basically the living things have, which they go throughout their life, that we call them, they are living things. So if someone asks you what you understand by living thing, so the activities, these activities performed by the things, those are your living things. Okay, now we are going to learn about the features of living things. So these are the features we have for living things, and we're going to and now we are going to depth in it. So first of all, growth. When a mango seed is sown in the soil, it germinates and sends out a shoot. The shoot continues to grow and becomes a big mango tree. So when we generally say na, drink milk, you grow more, you will become strong. So this is your growth, and this growth is same in human beings, in plants, and in animals as well. So when we sown, when we sown a mango seed, so what we see, first of all, we have a shoot, and further after some time the shoot become, and after some time when shoot grows, so it become a big mango tree. So this is your mango seed, their seed grows into a seedling, then mango plant, and at the end of the moment we have a mango tree, a giant mango tree. So young plants grow faster than old plants. Growth in plants continues throughout their life. So this is the throughout process of mango tree, how the mango tree grow from a seed, then mango plant, and further it become a mango tree. So observe a newly hatched chick and a newborn pup daily for over a month. Feed them and observe. So this is your activity. You have to feed a chick or a newborn pup to see their growth. Okay, now inborn, what we understand by inborn, this is your new word, quality that you are born with, and the growth, the process of growing and developing. So when we grow, when we develop, for example, when you're small you can't walk, but further after some time when your mother help you, so you start walking, you start talking. So these are the growth you have. Okay, now them daily, feed them and observe them daily. What you see in these young animals, there is an increase in size. This signifies the growth. We generally mean the growth means the growth in size. For example, when you see this mango seed, so what is this? Is a small seed. Further, it become longer, means become a mango plant, and further it become a giant mango tree. So what we see here, the size is changing. Okay, so it means grow means there is a increase in size. This signifies the growth. The growth stops once the animal reaches its normal adult size. During growth, there is a permanent increase in the size and the weight of living organism. So when we say a living thing is going on their growth process, it means their size increase, their weight increase. Okay, so these are the two things which help us to calculate or conclude that is it growing or not. Further, similarly, a newborn baby undergoes growth and with the passage of time transform into an adult man or woman. Growth is a fundamental aspect of life. Fundamental means the basic thing which we have to do in our life. This is our growth. So this is your growth in a bird, growth in a dog, and the growth in us, growth in humans. First of all, you very small like this newborn baby. Further, you become a little bit more quite. First of all, you are a newborn baby. Further, this is your growth. Then you become this, and then a man, and then a boy, and then a man. So this is your growth process, which we seen in humans as well. The next characteristics we have movement. Movement is a characteristics of living organism. Most animals can move from place to place. Such a movement it's called locomotion. So what we understand here, when we able to move from one place to another place, that is called our movement. And this movement further describes us, and this movement we further describe, which means locomotion. The common movement are walking, running, leaping, jumping, climbing, galloping, pouncing, flying, and swimming. These are the common movements we done in our day-to-day life, and we called it locomotion, and you can also say it the basic movements. Okay, so plants are unable to carry out locomotion but show slow movement of their plant. For example, the flowers open slowly, the roots grow downwards and move towards water in the soil, and the stem grows upwards and moves towards sunlight. So what we understand here, plants is also living thing, but the difference is this: that plants cannot move from one place to another place, but we animals can move from one place to another place. But we see the movement as well in the plants. What we see, what kind of locomotion plants have? The first thing, they can move, they can they have flowers open slowly. The second, they grow downwards, the roots grow downwards, and the direction of the sunlight, according to the direction of sunlight, the stems also see their movement. So we see that. Now the next we have, these are the examples you have for elephants walk, horse gallops, steer run, lions pounce, rabbit hoops, frog jumps, monkey climbs. So these are the movement examples we have for living things. Sometimes we come across some non-living things that show movement. The robot does everything according to the orders of Gates. A car runs on the road. An electric fan rotates when it's switched on. So, however, such movement are not similar to the movement of animals or plants. Non-living things do not move on their own. They need some external force to move. So, what we understand here, okay, there is a question in my mind that fan also move, robot also move. So what is the difference between movement of living thing and non-living thing? For example, if your pet dog wants to move from this place to this place, he is able to do it your own, right? He doesn't need anybody help. They can move from one place to another place. But for movement in your robot, in your car, in your fan, there is a command, right? So these are the things, they do not move itself only, they need some external force to move. So this is the difference between the movement of living thing and the movement of non-living thing. Next we have the third characteristics, which is nutrition, because without nutrition you cannot move, without nutrition you cannot grow, right? All living things need food to survive, to grow, and to reproduce. The green plants with chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight absorb water and carbon dioxide and prepare their food through photosynthesis. So first we discuss about the food cycle of a plant. So they made their food with the help of photosynthesis. In this, what happened? With the help of sunlight, with the help of the chlorophyll which is present in the leaves, and with the water and carbon dioxide. These four things are elementary things we need to do. We need plants need to make their food with the help of, these are the four things plants need to make their food, and by including these all three things, what they call this process, photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means food formation, right? So photo, with the help of sunlight, when these three things they have, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll, they made their food. Okay, then next we have animals depends on plants and other animals for their food. They take in solid and liquid food. This ability of living organism to take food and use it's known as nutrition. So what we understand, first of all, with the help of sunlight, plants made their food, and other all living things are dependent upon the plants for their food. For example, animals are also dependent upon the plants for their food, and we human beings are also dependent upon the flowers, upon the plants for their food. So this is your cycle, and the ability of taking food inside our body, that is called our nutrition, and by using it as for our energy form, that is also your nutrition. Now we have nutrition. What does exactly mean nutrition? The act or process of nourishing or being nourished. So by taking food, what we are doing, we nourished ourselves, we give ourselves energy for movement, for growth, for reproduction, and all other things and all other activities which we have to perform in a day-to-day life. For example, just suppose that you didn't take your breakfast in the morning and you feel so low because you don't have your breakfast. So for giving energy for the day-to-day activities, what we need food, right? So these are the food of animals: cow eating grass, lie eating flesh, a boy drinking milk. You drink milk, very good. Okay, the next characteristics we have, that is your respiration. Every organism needs energy to perform its vital activities. We already know that. Why we need food? We need food to do our vital activities. Plants get this energy from the food they prepare, and animals from the food they feed on. During breathing, when oxygen is taken in by an organism, the food is broken into simpler substances and energy is released. This process is called respiration. So what we understand here, we eat food. Why we eat food? To get energy. We need energy to do our vital activities. Now we discuss how the plants, how the animals get their vital, how the plants, how the animals get their energy. So plants generally get their energy from the prepare the with the help of food they prepared from the photosynthesis, and animals from the food they feed on. But during breathing, when oxygen is taken in, by an organism, the food is broken. So now we are discussing how this food helps us to take breathe and how the breathing process is happen. So first of all, your food is broken into simpler substance because your food it's present in your body. Food is basically a complex thing. This is your complex substance, and while you breathe and for other activities as well, for getting energy as well, we need to break down our complex substance into simpler substance, then we get energy, right? So for this, this complex substance is break down into simpler substance and energy is released. Without converting of complex substance into simpler substance, we cannot get our energy. This is our digestive system. You always say, your mother say, I have some gas problem, right? And by this gas problem, we cannot able to do our vital activities. Just because of that, we don't have energy as well as we have pain. Just because of this uh, process is breakdown in between, the complex substance is not further converted into simpler substance. So this is your digestion process as well. And when this complex substance broken down into simpler substance and energy is released, this process is called respiration. Still now you are taking respiration, right? Breathe in, breathe out. This is called your respiration. For this, you have to convert your complex substance into simpler substance. During respiration, organisms breathe oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. When I say breathe in, it means you are taking in oxygen, and when I say breathe out, you take out your carbon dioxide out of your body. Now animals breathe through some organs. Human beings, mammals and many other animals breathe through their lungs. So fish breathe through the gills. Now that there are different organs we have which help us to take breathing, which help us to complete our breathing process. In human beings, in mammals, or in many other things, this process is done by with the lungs, but in fish the thing is done by their gills. So respiration in humans, respiration in animals, respiration in fish through gills, and leaf of showing, and leaf generally the respiration is complete by your stomata. Now what does mean by stomata? So plants breathe through the small pores, also called stomata, in their leaves. This is your leaf, and in this leaf are there small pores we have. These pores are called stomata. You often see in winter the water particles upon your leaves. That is just because of your stomata. Okay. Now, response to stimuli. Living, or first of all, we have to understand what does mean by response to stimuli. Whenever you touch a hot pan, so what you do by touching it, nobody tell you that you just have to taken out your hand backside. You do it your own, because this process is already completed, already done, and you already know that it is harmful for you. So when we know how we have to react, the instant reaction for a particular thing, that it's called your response to stimuli. Living organism respond to stimuli or changes in the environment in a way that is advantage to themselves. The ability of an organism to respond to stimulus, it's known as irritability or sensitivity. Any change in the internal or external environment is known as stimulus. Each stimulus is followed by a response, a reaction. Hunger is an internal stimulus that forces you to take something to eat. If respir- if you touch a hot stove, if you touch a hot stove, external stimulus, your response is immediate and of advantage to you. A lion attacking a deer and the deer running away from the lion are examples of irritability. So what we understand here, the instant reaction of ourselves to different things, that it's called your stimuli. The stimuli words means your reaction. When we touch a hot stove, when you feel hunger, so these are the stimulus which you have done. So these are the stimuli which are responding you, and this is the main reason, that's why you are reacting to something, right? If you don't have this talent, if you don't have this characteristics in your body that you have to respond it, then you cannot do anything. Just because of that, this characteristics response to stimuli, you react on all of the things you react on in your whole day. Okay. So now plants responds to stimuli very slowly. A potted plant placed near a window will turn its leaves slowly towards sunlight. When the touch me not plant is touched, it will at once close its leaves. So we understand this. In plants, this process of stimuli, it's very slow as compared to animals, as compared to human beings, because they slowly closed or close their leaves. And when there we have a touch me not plant, is slowly close its leaves itself. Now we have lion chasing prey, touch me not plant, and leaves of a potted plant moving towards to the light. Now we have the next characteristic we have in living organism, which is reproduction. Reproduction means when we are able to give birth to a newborn baby. So all living organisms have the ability to reproduce young ones of their own kind, a capacity to refer to as reproduction. Flowering plants primarily reproduce through seeds, while flowering plants reproduce via spores. Okay, so what we understand here, first of all, the word reproduction. Re means again. So now we have flowering plants primarily reproduce through seeds, while non-flowering plants reproduce via spores. So what we understand here, first of all, we have to understand what does mean by reproduction. The name suggests the word re. Re means we can say na repeat yourself. So re means you have to do this work again. So while we say reproduction, it means a new one, a young one would be here, right? It is clear. Next, we have plants. So when we have flowering plants, so it primarily reproduce through the seeds. So this is the simple process. If the flowering plants, they can produce themselves with the help of their seeds. But if we have non-flowering plants, then they are produced with the help of spores. So you understood here what does mean by reproduction and what does how we complete reproduction in plants. Okay. Next, animals either lay eggs or give birth to young ones. So some animals give eggs and some animals reproduce the young ones, give birth to young ones. For example, your pigeon, your dove, these are the animals, these are the birds who generally lay eggs. And your examples, cow, buffalo, dog, cats, these are the animals who gives birth to young ones. Thus, all living organisms go through a cycle. They are born, they are grow up, they are reproduce their own kind, and ultimately after some time they die. So what we understand here, the living thing means this is the process is done by each and every living thing. Now what are the each and every living thing we have? The first one, plant. The plants also go through this cycle. They are born, they grown up, they reproduce their own kind, and ultimately after some time they die. The same process done by animals, the same process done by human beings. So this is the kind of life of living things. Now we have a table, and this table is all about the difference between living organisms and non-living organisms. So when we have to see the characteristics of living organisms, so we have to consider that okay, these are the things are not present in your non-living thing. First, living organisms take in food. We take in food, we eat food, right? But your remote, your toy, your doll, it's not taking any food inside. So non-living things do not take in food. Next, living organisms grow and increase size and weight. It means after some time, for example, after 2 years, I met you. So what I see your weight and your height is increased. But in the respect, I see your rabbit. In respect of I see your toys. So it means they do not grow further. When we see the size, change in weight, it means they are go through the process of growth. Otherwise, they are not. Living organisms exhibit movement and locomotion. Movement and locomotion. I can walk. I can talk. So these are the movement. These are the locomotion done by me and done by you as well as animals and as well as plants. Plants are not talking, but plants are also show movements. Okay, but your doll, your bag, your mobile phone, your remote are not showing any kind of movement their own. You have to take your bag to from one to take movement from one place to another place. You have to take your mobile phone in your hand to move from one place to another place. Your mobile, your bag could not move one place to from another place their own. Next, we have living organisms are respire. Non-living things do not respire. It means we breathe in and breathe out, but your non-living things do not respire. Now, living organisms respond to external and internal stimuli. Non-living things do not respond to stimuli. Your bag never say I am hungry, but you say you are hungry, right? Your bag never say, oh my God, it is too hot, but you say when you touch a hot stop. Okay, so this is the difference between you and your bag. It means this is the difference between living thing and a non-living thing. Now, living organisms reproduce their own kind, and non-living things cannot reproduce their own kind, because if it did happen, so after some time you have a small bag of your big bag, and this is too interesting, then you don't need to buy more bags, right? But it's not possible. Only living things can reproduce their own kind, as your mother have you, right? And the plants also reproduce, and animals as well. So this is the end of your chapter, students, and this is the exercise. Now you have to evaluate yourself how much you learn this concept. So this is the end of your chapter. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.